Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, listen, subscribe. Thanks everybody for checking us out. Thanks everybody that sticks with us through everything. Don't forget to catch us at 1 p.m. every Sunday for our discussion. The last one was just off the chain. I loved it.
Pacific Standard Time. Standard Time.
It was great. It was great. It was great. Oh, I thought I had something in my beard, but it's my gray hair. It's called wisdom.
I got a lot of stuff in mind. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. That happens when you get old.
Or better, one of the two. I forget which one it is.
Yeah, you should tell everybody how it used to be to ride the dinosaurs. Anyway, we want to start off with
Missouri man executes a man for the 1998 killing of a woman despite her family's calls to spare his life. A Missouri man convicted of breaking into a woman's home and repeatedly stabbing her was executed Tuesday over the objections of the victim's family and the prosecutor, who wanted the death sentence commuted to life in prison. Maurice Williams, 55, was convicted in the 1998 killing of Alicia Gale, who was stabbed during the burglary of her suburban St. Louis home. Williams was put to death despite questions his attorneys raised over jury selection at his trial and the handling of evidence in the case. His clemency petition focused heavily on how Gale's relatives wanted Williams' sentence commuted to life without the possibility of parole. The family defines closure as Marcellus being allowed to live, the petition stated. Marcellus' execution is not necessary. As Williams lay awaiting execution, he appeared to converse with spiritual advisor seated next to him. Williams wiggled his feet underneath the white sheet that was pulled up to his neck, moved to his head slightly while spiritual advisor continued to talk. Then Williams' chest heaved about a half dozen times and showed no further movement. So
it says Williams' attorney argued that the DNA was not on the murder weapon and that his 2001 trial was unfair, saying that the trial lawyer dismissed a juror based on race and that there was only one black juror on the panel, and Williams was black. St. Louis County Prosecutor Attorney General Wells sought to halt the execution, saying DNA experts concluded William was excluded from DNA found on the murder weapon through testing that was not available at the time of the trial. So the man was innocent. He didn't do it, spent 20 years in jail, and they still killed him. You know what I'm saying? And I think the lady Felicia, she was black also.
No, prosecutor, the woman who died.
Yeah,
she was white. She was
really?
A white woman. Yeah,
that's crazy how they just this is not the first time this has happened, especially in Missouri. He has a hard time of letting black people out of jail that are innocent. You know what I'm saying? He likes to keep his slave labor. And the thing is crazy. It's like, look, this black person didn't do it, but you're still going to lock this one up and let the murderer run free.
Well, let me just say this, okay? It says authorities said Williams stole a jacket to conceal blood on his shirt. His girlfriend asked him why he would wear a jacket on a hot day. She said she later saw the purse and laptop in his car and that Williams sold the computer a day or two later.
So he was there.
He said prosecutors also cited testimony from Henry Cole, who shared a cell with Williams. I mean, I don't do jailhouse confessions. I don't do that at all. I won't even read that. That's crap, because I know that's a lot of times with prosecutors do stuff like that. They'll get a guy who's already locked up and they'll get him to go ahead and say, hey, this guy confessed to me and said this, just to give him less time on whatever crime he's in jail for. Because you can't say whether the person said it to you or not. You're sitting in a cell. I mean, this person could say you said anything to him. That's why people who are on trial for murder or any kind of serious crime should probably be alone in a cell without but
cellmate. Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, there's some other stuff on here that I could read. That's why I was saying earlier, we don't know what happened. I'm not going to say whether he did or whether he didn't do it, but does seem like he maybe not been the one who actually stabbed her.
Yes.
And
that's what but he was there, and it was someone else.
There.
And the thing about it, and I guess a witness was scared to come out even to this day. They were like, look, I still fear the person to this day that did it. And the whole thing, I tell my kids that, I'm like, look, man, you're guilty. You can be guilty by association. If you're at a store and your friend's stealing and you're with them, you did it too.
I mean, and that's a fact. That's how the laws are set up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if the woman was stabbed 43 times, that's a heinous crime. You know what I mean? You stab somebody 43 times, that's excessive, bro. I'm pretty sure she's after the first, I mean, even that probably before you stabbed her, she probably was go ahead and take whatever you got. But this person had some kind of a bloodlust, something going on with them to stab someone 43 times, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and if you were there, I'm not saying he was or if he was not, may God rest his soul, however it went. If you were there and you didn't step in to stop that, you know what I mean?
You deserve to be in jail. But I mean, like, if he wasn't the killer, if the man, if they agreed on life in prison, you know what I'm saying? I guess he wasn't, I'll correct myself. He wasn't an innocent man, but he wasn't the murderer. Who's the murderer?
And that's another thing. I mean, I'm sure if you have the person's DNA evidence, this person's probably committed another crime, unless they were really, 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 really smart. And they just stayed away from, just cut out everything in general and just didn't do 23s and me's or anything like that. And what is it called? 23.
And he could have been told on him. That's crazy. There's a lot of dudes that are in jail, and it's crazy how you was with somebody and they're a dumbass. They did a crime. You got caught for it, and you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail because you don't want to say that. I understand if you live a street life, but if you're a civilian, you know, like think about, okay, I'll take it for example, C Murder, Master P's brother.
Yeah.
He's in jail for shooting a 16-year-old at a nightclub. He didn't do it. It was some other guy. Master P says it all the time. He's like, yo, someone asked him, he's like, what does your brother have to do to get out of jail? What do you have to do? And Master P says he knows what he has to do. And he has to say that it was this guy. The guy that did it is already dead. So it wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Just like T.I.'s like, yeah, I told on my brother because my brother, he had a dream. He said, just say I did it. And he did it. The guy's already dead. But C Murder, he's holding loyalty to a street that ain't got no love for nobody. You know what I'm saying? You don't even own a home on the streets.
We got to remember who's Corey Miller is too at the same time and what background that he comes from. I mean, some people who
that's cool, but I mean, like, don't you want to have a background of grandpa and holding your kid on your lap? Don't you want to have the background to watch your daughter get married?
This is how I have to look at like this. You make a decision, and you make decisions in life, and either you're going to stick to them or you're going to be a person who says, you know what, this other stuff that I don't do it initially. That's my whole thing. Don't get into it. Don't start it initially. If you're gonna become the dude who now all of a sudden wants to be the person who wants to be a grandpa and wants to be all this other stuff, then don't get into it to begin with, because now you went down. You're allowing what your new morality, for so-called found morality that you found in jail when you get caught, to become the new code of what you should be dealing with. Nah, don't do that. What about the other person who you're about to tell on and get all the time? Because in reality, he was there. You know what I mean? I don't know if this guy was here or not. What he was saying is he had nothing to do with it. He did not kill her. He wasn't there. So he probably couldn't turn around and say, well, this guy did it.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like the young Dolph trial that's going on right now also. You know what I'm saying? They caught the murderers. They said, have you seen that? They caught the murderers.
The dude's a snitch. The dude's a snitch who's telling.
He's snitching on. Yeah, he's a snitch. He's telling on his friend. And see, I mean, this should just teach people about street code. Young Dolph was worth millions of dollars. One of those dudes could have went up to Young Dolph like, "Hey, I need a record contract." The hit was for $100,000. Yo Gotti's brother was the one that put the hit on Young Dolph.
Allegedly.
Okay, that's what they're saying in the court. And then when the guys did the hit, they thought they were going to split the money and start their rap career. They only got $800. They only got paid.
One dude only got $800. The one dude only got $800. I mean, if you look at him, man, look, this dude, honestly, if that's how easy it was, that guy straight drop who was he was in videos with Young Dolph. He didn't get a rap career. He was in videos with him, hung out with him, all kinds of stuff. He's one of the people who allegedly killed him. No, but this dude, now that it's easy and it's convenient for a defense attorney to come out with some elaborate story that this person's brother helped to do X, Y, and Z in order to get all this stuff done. You know what I mean? This is probably why
they killed Big Jock at a funeral.
Yeah, but this is probably why Marcellus Williams it's harder for people like him to get off later, because after 20, 30 years, everyone feels contrite. We've all grown up past the point. We've all forgiven. So, but if I'm a judge, I have to almost stick with something for the safety of not safety, but for the sake of the original, how people originally felt about what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they're right by killing this guy, because I don't know if he did it or not. But what I'm saying is, like, we all, like a family, we will forgive anyone after 30 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? You've grown, you've gotten to a point in your life. You know what I mean?
Bro, I still want to slap the doctor to smack my ass and give me life.
You know what I mean, though. Like, family, sometimes as you get older, you start looking at things a little bit differently. You start becoming a little more spiritual.
Well, you have to give that person forgiveness so you can let it go in your own heart. Because for me, I hold on to revenge.
No, absolutely, and a lot of people
Yeah.
do, but that's why I'm saying we don't know what happened with this dude. It's hard to to listen to when his DNA wasn't on the murder weapon, but he has a possession of everything else. But that could have been a person who just said, you know what, hey, get the stuff off of me. You know what I mean? Here you go, get this stuff, just sell this stuff for me.
Here,
that's
hold
what
this. Hey man, the heat might be on me. Hold this for.
Boom.
But still,
And
that makes you a co-conspirator.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And at that point in time, if you murdered somebody, listen, I'm not a person, I'm not going to involve myself in stupid stuff. But if you murder somebody, you gave me that stolen stuff you stole from the murder victim, and I didn't know, you better go ahead and let them know what's up.
No, I have a friend like that. He wouldn't understand why his partner was mad at him. And so they was somewhere, somebody saw he had a pistol, they was walking, and he sees the cops come, so he takes his bag of dope or whatever and puts it in his friend's pocket. You know what I'm saying? And so the cops saw it, and the cops like, come over here. So now they both got the same charge. And he's like, well, I don't understand why he's mad. He should have been my road dog. I'm like, well, I'd be mad too, bro. You put me in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
But was the person who threw the dope in the back of the person's car that he put it? They was walking.
They was walking, and homeboy was like, swoops. And the cop saw it, and he was like, the cop didn't have no right to search him. I'm like, yes, he did. If the cop saw you make the handoff, he's part of the investigation now. You know what I'm saying?
All I know is I'm looking at the cop like, you saw what just happened. I ain't got to say nothing at this point in time. It was dope. Hey, I didn't have possession of any of this. You saw the transfer. I didn't ask for it.
You know what I'm just saying? A lot of kids need to wake up like, look, man, that street life ain't worth it. You can tell by this guy. Look, he just got executed over a laptop and a purse. That's today. Think about it. If you stole a laptop in 2001, it's worthless in 2003. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That purse, no one even cares about that style no more. Show me a purse people carry around the 90s that you still got walking right now. So look at
not only
dude's in jail snitching on his homeboy over $800.
All right. But in reality, he also got $50,000 allegedly given to his attorney too. Paid for his attorney paid for. You did a bad hit. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But you did a bad hit. That's on you. You know what I mean? It was a bad hit. It went bad. The car you used the bad car, the same car was in the rap video, same house.
Same car that's in the rap video, same car that said the Google. You do Google Maps, the car's in front of them, dude. They like,
you know what I mean? Like you had the same hat on that you had on the video, all kind of weird stuff. It's all bad business. But the point of it, you know,
criminals aren't smart. That's why they're in jail, bro. That's just, you know,
I'm not going to say,
a lot of people tell on you, right? But a lot of people are stupid. They do
a lot of stupid stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got the
speaking of stupid stuff, I want to talk about Alex Jones. Alex Jones InfoWars set to be auctioned off to help pay victims of Sandy Hook defamation case. InfoWars, the media platform owned by conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, and his assets will be sold off this fall to help pay more than $1 billion he owes the families of the victims of the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting. U.S. bankruptcy judge Christopher Lopez said in Tuesday's court hearing he would approve the order, which will force Jones to sell off the assets in the auction in November, court records say. Free Speech System, which is InfoWars' parent company and owned totally by Jones, will have its ownership transferred to a trustee overseeing Jones' personal bankruptcy case before being sold off.
I mean, what is it really worth at this point in time? Has he just driven it into the ground, or is he still working with it? I mean, what's it?
Yeah, no, he's still on it. He was just crying on it.
That they're about to take his stuff.
You know what I'm saying to him? I'm like, good. You know why? One thing you don't do is you make a conspiracy theory about a bunch of parents losing their children and think people are going to take it, and then continue to harass parents who just lost probably the greatest thing they've ever made in their life. Good for you. I hope they take everything. I hope they take everything from him, like the shooter of Sandy Hook School took everything from those parents.
I mean, and they're at $1 billion. They did take everything from him. He ain't a billionaire. I know that much.
No, he ain't.
Yeah, they're coming. Hey, that's for the rest of your life. Any money you make, they're taking it.
Like
you got to take all cash.
Like they try to do OJ.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they did OJ.
Bro,
OJ.
They still trying to get it out of death. They're like, look, we didn't get none of that money. He was OJ's like
I don't even know if we gonna get into that, but you know, at the end of the day, OJ was proven not guilty in court.
He was.
They should have
proven guilty in a
civil case.
Well, civil case, and also in the public
opinion,
just like they're doing Diddy right now.
I'm like this, man. Alex Jones, man, he came out and kept on saying that the whole thing that happened with these kids was a hoax. That, you know what I mean, that they had a bunch of what they called like crisis actors, all this other stuff, and these little kids actually were murdered, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like there are a lot of little kids just actually killed. I mean, So a person like him, man, if you're going to keep on coming out playing off of people's actual victimhood, like things that they've actually gone through, then you deserve whatever happens to you after that. I mean, one thing I will say about Alex Jones, though, is he's been right about a lot of stuff, though, too. He has been right a number of times before.
Shout out to my brother Snook. He said that also. He said, he's been right about a lot of things.
It's true. I mean, he had 9/11. I think he said some stuff about 9/11. I mean, and he was right about that. I mean, he had a few things that he's been on point about. But go ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to move on from Alex Jones. I want to talk about this. I sent this to you. It was Donald Trump. He was giving an interview, and he said it was in Pennsylvania, and he said Trump warns he doesn't need Congress to impose tariff plan. And former President Donald Trump said he doesn't need the support of the economists or Congress to enact tariff plans if he wins in November. He said, I'll have the right to impose them myself. And you can hear him in the speech. He's like, it would be nice if Congress went along with it. He's like, but I don't need them. He's like, I can just do it myself. And that's what it is. This is Project 2025. This is what the Supreme Court has done.
You got to remember, he also, I don't know if you have an article on it or not that you want to read, but he also, and look at what he did in 2016 with China. He imposed tariffs on them. He went
and they had to give our farmers welfare because it almost crippled us. And then, like I said, I've said it before, bro, it crippled the gooey duck industry. Yeah. I mean, even what's his name, dude without turtle without a shell, Mitch McConnell came out and was like, I don't believe in tariffs because the price gets imposed on American citizens.
That's what everyone's saying, because he's already out stating that he wants to raise, I think it's like 20% tariffs across some crazy. I mean, but then he's saying that it won't get pushed onto the consumer, but it always does. That's just kind of what it is. Every price raise,
just like trickle down economics. You know what I'm saying? And then he also, I mean, to go with this story of him, he also imposed a 200% tariff on John Deere. If they outsource John Deere, they make a lot of constructions. Sorry, it's been a long day.
No. They make a lot of construction. I mean, not construction farm equipment. Yeah, farm equipment,
manufacturing equipment. And so they were saying, look, if it moved to Mexico, a $200 tariff or 200% tariff. So that's going to fall on when your John Deere tractor falls apart and you have to get it repaired. That $200% tariff is going to fall on the consumers.
And that'll never happen. I mean, I'm going to tell you why, because he'll lose his entire base. His base is mostly rural America. You know what I mean? Like rural America, they're not, man. They're like, look, man. I'm in the logistics field myself. During farm season, what happens is a lot of these places will rent out farming, like John Deere, like tractors or whatever else. They'll rent out this equipment during that season. So a lot of equipment's being moved around. A lot of them will buy it too. It's being moved around through different ports, and also, through the Midwest, South, or they're moving around these agricultural states, which is, pretty much every state. If this happens, that's his, like I said, that's his entire base. The reason why he won't do it, because imagine trying to take anything else up for a vote. And everyone's like, hell no, we're not voting for nothing else you got going on unless you just throw that. He'll throw that out, but he won't throw out the tariffs on China. He won't do that. He won't worry about John Deere going down to Mexico, because he doesn't really care. You know what I mean? He doesn't really care about that. What he cares more about is imposing tariffs on places like China and whoever else he wants to bully, that has, maybe Taiwan, who knows? You know what I mean? Places that he wants to try and bully. I don't think he really cares too much about what's going on with John Deere. He won't when it comes time for him to actually govern, because he won't have any votes in the House at all, because most of his congressmen are from rural America.
Yeah, but I mean, to them, they look like they're going to be winning, because a lot of them, it just seems like they cut off their nose to spite their face.
I don't know if they're going to hurt their constituents, though. I mean, they'll do it in other ways. They'll be like, welfare. Oh, we don't want this. We don't want this Obamacare until it comes time. What they'll do is they count votes. They make sure that they're not going to be the vote that's going to make it.
They don't even call it Obamacare no more. They call it the ACA.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about that.
They call it Apple Health up here. Everybody's good on that. Oh, yeah, that's some good service right there. I like it. Obama said it's going to be so good, they're going to stop calling it Obamacare, and they did. I ain't heard it called Obamacare since Obama enacted it.
I got another one here. The Justice Department accuses Visa of debit network monopoly that affects prices of nearly everything. The U.S. Justice Department on Tuesday sued Visa, the world's biggest payments network, saying it propped up an illegal monopoly over debit payments by imposing exclusionary agreements on partners and smothering upstart firms. Visa's moves over the years have resulted in American consumers and merchants paying billions of dollars in additional fees, according to the DOJ, which filed a civil antitrust suit in New York for monopolization and other unlawful conduct. We allege that Visa has unlawfully amassed the power to extract fees that far exceed what could charge in a competitive market, Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a DOJ release. Merchants and banks pass along those costs to consumers either by raising prices or reducing quality or service, Garland said. As a result, Visa's unlawful conduct affects not just the price of one thing, but the price of nearly everything.
Yeah, no, they got those one places where they automatically put it on. If it's like under $5, they'll charge you the fee. And they got some places, they don't care where it is. They be like, yo, use your debit card. We hit you with a fee. And I'd be like, are you serious? You're charging. Yeah, but like, you're charging me. I'm buying stuff from your store and you're charging me to use my debit card. I'd be like, give my money back.
I mean, but you got to look at that's why gas, if you go to a gas station, they'll have a cash price and they'll have a credit price.
Yeah.
What they're doing, I mean, because they're being charged. They can't, I mean, either they're going to put it into the price, but even if you put it into the price, it's going to be charged on top of that price. So it has to be kind of done in a different manner, if you get what I'm saying to you.
And so they pass it on to us. That's like a tariff.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we just were talking about. But at the same time, a business that I was running, we were paying like about $2,000-$3,000 a month in credit card fees. You know, and like that's just credit card fees. Imagine what that is per transaction. They said they're making about $7 billion a year. That Visa and MasterCard are making $7 billion a year in fee, just from fees. You know, just from card fees, that's ridiculous. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of money, man. And like, you know, the one thing about my bank, I like them because they don't, if I use my card somewhere and I get charged for one of those fees, they actually give me the money back. You know, that's why I like banking with them. Like, even if I go to an ATM and it's like, hey, it's $4 to pull your money out, my bank pays for that fee. But, you know, it's crazy. Like, I avoid gas stations like that in mini marts. If I walk in there and I see that little sticker where, hey, we're going to charge you to use your debit card, I don't want to be in here. You know, because I don't feel like you're making enough money and these candy bars look like they're expired.
I mean, we got to kind of look at this is actually taking back of America. We have to look at things that way. We can't always look at everything as far as like what the stores, and we have to look at these are just like when you buy an airline ticket, how they were charging you all those fees on top of it. They're not allowed to do that shit anymore. We have to disclose everything up front. That's our government kind of stepping in and saying, you know what, we're not going to allow this anymore. We're not going to allow capitalism to be more important than the people. You know, and so those are sometimes things that have to happen, just like stepping in and doing price limits on food. You know what I mean? Like when they're talking about doing that, these are certain things that government, it takes them to step in. The reason why, because we're a capitalist, a free market society.
I'm just saying, where are all these CEOs and why are we not running into them? All the ones that won't pay nobody a fair wage. All the ones that want to raise,
running into them because they're on private planes. They're flying around getting money.
Yeah, we need to run up on them. That's what I'm saying. Everybody in America needs to find out where these people are going to be giving speeches, having dinners, golfing, and run up on them.
Hey,
you ain't got nothing else to do.
I mean, I'm going to say it like this, man. At the end of the day,
it's not like you get to enjoy your money.
And this is people's job to actually figure out how to extract more money from the consumer. That's a person's job.
How much more do you need? Your money's only as good as you can pay for your security. And I know your security's family because they live around us.
Absolutely. Do you got the Lebanon?
No, I don't have the Lebanon. I can pull that up right now. I got I want to talk about
he said run up on him. This guy's going crazy right now.
Yo, a Harris campaign office damaged by gunfire in Arizona. Police are investigating whether what appears to be gunfire damage overnight at a Democratic Party coordinated campaign office for Vice President Kamala Harris. The incident occurred just a few days before Harris is scheduled to visit Arizona as she campaigns for president. We can confirm that on 9/23/24, what appears to be damage from gunfire at a DNC campaign office was discovered. Tempe police said in a statement to NBC News on Tuesday. Tempe police said the officer responds Monday after calls from workers that they observed what appeared to be gunshots through the front windows of the office, which is shared by staff members from the Arizona Democratic Party. The Harris campaign and Senate House campaign to boost the Harris campaign and Senate and House campaigns to boost turnouts for the party in November. So I don't know if you remember back in Arizona, what was the lady's name? She was shot.
Gabby Giffords or something
Gabby
like
Gifford was shot.
Her
by a
husband
man.
is the senator right now, Kelly. Whatever I think it's Kelly or something like the last name's Kelly or something like that.
Yeah.
He's actually the senator from Arizona right now. One of the senators from Arizona.
Yeah. And so I mean, it's just political violence right now. I mean, there's probably somebody driving by, but still that's kind of major.
Just being, I mean, and at the same time, it was closed. At least it was closed. I'm not gonna. This isn't me making an excuse for it. I told you when I was just out here, they had the freeway shut down in Arizona, where they had across every lane, and behind them were just Trump trucks with the flags out. You know what I mean? With the gun racks in the back, driving 30 miles an hour down the freeway, holding up traffic. Some of them had it to a dead stop. Policemen just sitting there, not doing nothing about it. They were on the off ramps with their flags, waving their flags, on bikes, everything else. They had it, man. They're tripping. I mean, in reality, honestly, I hope people look at this and say, you know what? I don't want to vote for this shit. Who wants to have to deal with this type of shit? No one does. You know, these people are cultists. In my book, Trumpers are cultists. That's just what it is. No one, I've never seen anyone act the way they act about. I mean, we were proud of Obama because that's pride's different. You know what I mean? Like these people there's really not a lot of reason to be proud of Donald Trump. He's really done nothing. But
well, the whole thing is like, think about it. You get to go back to 1940 style where you can beat your woman. You can rape your woman. You can hang black people from trees openly and have picnics. You can kill Mexicans. They want to go back to when they ruled.
Do you think that Donald Trump really? Do you think that he really? Yes. I don't know if he's like that far back. I'm not going against you. I'm not going against you.
They just had Michael Cohen just did an interview where he was like, "Yo, if Donald Trump gets elected, I got to leave the country." He's like, "I got to get a new name and a new passport." He's like, because he said he's coming after me. He's going to get his revenge.
He's going to do that. No, he's going to do that. And
shout out to Tariq Nasheed, but Tariq Nasheed, he wanted to comment on somebody's stuff talking about, oh man, they're going to come after all black people. He's like, no, they're just going to get the immigrants. I'm like, nah, bro, they're going to come for everybody.
Who Tariq Nasheed said they're just going to get the immigrants?
He said they're just going to get the immigrants. They ain't going to mess with us. I'm like, what do you think, bro? Like we've been target number one since day one.
I mean, all the whole immigrant thing does is open the door to anyone because we look like Haitians too. Yeah. We look like people from Africa too. You think that they care about that? You got to remember something. We look like people from Latin America. A lot of Latin American people look like us. Period. We might think that, oh, these are Mexico. This looks like you just don't have enough. You haven't traveled enough. You haven't seen enough. And I'm not saying I've seen everything myself, but I'm telling you, they look like us. All they're doing is opening the door.
You're going to give them full immunity also, right? So all they have to do is be like, hey, we thought a Haitian was in there. They said no, they wouldn't let us in. So we had to open fire. We go in there, open fire on the house. Oh no, you got full immunity. It's going to be blood everywhere. Everywhere.
I mean, and you're creating a Gestapo style police force to go after immigrants, man. You know what I mean? Like if you look at in Florida, I had another thing, but we won't switch, but we'll talk about it another day. But in Florida, they're having a problem with their workforce right now. So they're like raising the hours that the teenagers can work because they're trying to like going from, I think it's like teenagers can now work like over basically like overtime. Now, teenagers, man, I ain't talking about 18, 19, 20. I'm talking about kids in school.
Bro, they lowered it down to 13. And I think it was like Ohio or Dakota, one of those two, they lowered the age down. We're like kids can go to work now.
I mean, that tells you a lot about people talking about, hey, we don't have enough jobs for ourselves. Yeah, we do. The point of it is you guys don't want those jobs. There's certain jobs that people don't want. And so we better stop, but
I ain't picking fruit. I ain't picking tomatoes. Only time I'm picking that up is at the grocery store.
Hey,
so here I got the Lebanon story. I got this one first before we go into it. U.S. to send troops to be ready to help evacuate U.S. citizens from Lebanon. But what they're actually really doing, this is Defense Department plans to send a few dozen troops to the Middle East in the coming days to be ready to help Americans flee a region, bracing for significant escalations in a simmering conflict between Israel and Iranian-backed militant group Hezbollah in Lebanon. The U.S. force will add to the roughly 4,000 troops already in the region. The presence has grown as the war between Israel and Hamas continues and tensions with Hezbollah intensified. But actually what's really going on, folks, they're actually sending the troops to defend Israel. And it's getting kind of crazy out there right now. I mean, it's going to be a full-scale war if anybody's ready for that. It's going to be a full-scale war. And then What
there
else?
was some huge death tolls here just here recently. I think you said it was over 500 some people that were killed.
They shot missiles into Lebanon.
Beirut was it? Yeah.
In Beirut, they said they killed one of the top generals of Hezbollah. Correct. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this right now, everyone's also saying that, this is big. What they're saying, they're using civilians as human shields. Again, they're using the same rhetoric that they used in Gaza. They're using it now in Lebanon. But let people learn, how many countries are we going to allow these guys to run inside of and start killing people? Period. They're
committing mass war crimes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the U.S. is silent. And that should freak everybody out, because if they can do it over there, they're gonna do it here.
They just killed the American citizen on the West Bank, shot her in the head.
Bro, they use people's pagers as bombs and cell phones as bombs.
These
are random citizens. They use them as bombs, unwittingly bombs.
That's like kill kids and everything.
That's like them selling you a brand new iPhone. You go out and buy an iPhone for you and you pass your iPhone to your kids, and then all your iPhones blow up because they're bombs. That's exactly what they're doing.
I mean, and we all know that they're committing war crimes. They're doing it under the whole under the guise of, under the cloud of our American election right now. They understand that we're in an election. Our politicians are sold to the highest bidder, because they damn near have to be, because we don't have any campaign finance reform. We have Citizens United, so they need money in order to be able to run an election. That's what it is. And so that they bought all of our politicians. They understand that everyone's going to be focused on Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. We don't have any kind of continuity in our country right now, so they're going to kill as many people as they possibly can. Now they're in Beirut. They're saying they're about to. They're told their troops to get ready to invade. Basically, to invade Lebanon, to go into Lebanon.
And they wouldn't do Israeli troops. They're about to do. That's what they said. And they wouldn't be doing. And China told everybody, all their citizens in Lebanon or they told them in Israel to get out. They're like, you need to get out of there. And it's crazy. It's like the only reason they're doing this is because they have the backing from the U.S. government. They would give them billions. They wouldn't be doing none of this.
We give them billions. We supply them with all the weapons they need. We give them billions of dollars every year, and they turn around and give us back a few $100 million to our politicians, so we can keep giving them billions, man.
And that happens because ridiculous. And our politicians have dual citizenship with Israel, which actually needs to be a law. You shouldn't be able to be in any facet of our government if you have a dual citizenship to another country.
Yeah.
What if I had dual citizenship with North Korea and I was a governor of Washington State, or dual citizenship with China or Russia, and I was your mayor? Would you believe everything I'm doing for you is for you?
You look at every administration, a lot of the top people in those administrations, like back office, they're not even so necessarily the people who are put out front. A lot of the back office people are Jewish. That's just what it is. I mean, they've gotten themselves so deeply embedded in our politics right now that it just doesn't seem like the people in Israel, they want Netanyahu gone. You know what I mean? They're looking at him like, you need to go. Period, plain and simple. But no one can get him out of office. He's figured a way to tie himself in and to keep fighting a forever war. I hope Kamala Harris, if she gets into office, changes something. I know Donald Trump won't. He's already saying Chuck Schumer's a Palestinian, like it's a bad thing to be a Palestinian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you say something like that, he's a Palestinian. Like what does that mean, man? Like what else would you say? What other rooms would you go in and be like Haitian? You know what I mean? Like the other guys did too. Would that be something that you would say as well?
If Donald Trump gets elected, it's gonna. Remember when he was in office, they was open with it, and then when he lost, they was trying to backpedal. Like
it was bad.
Nah, we good.
Like they were quiet about it again. I mean,
it's crazy. They weren't trying to change history when he was in there. They was proud of it. Proud of all that old proud. And then he got out of office. They're like, no, we got to change all this. We can't make it look bad and
absolutely
all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And now that he's come back again, now that the swing is back again there, and they have a hope that he could possibly win. You see them all peeking their little heads back out again now.
Donald Trump ain't about to win, bro. He gonna have to steal it. That's all it is.
I'm gonna say this. It's very right now. It's very possible for him to win this election, man.
He's so irate right now. He has to steal it.
He's going against what would be our first woman president. And I know a lot of men who don't have aversions to to being led by women. I'm one of them. I don't have a version, not saying led by as far as like, in your household or whatever the case may be, but just in your workplace. You know what I mean? Period. Some men don't care about their households. That's fine. Like, don't care about being led in the household, whatever the case may be. I'm not one of them. But I mean, I don't worry about who the leader of the country is. That's different to me. I wouldn't mind if it was, I wouldn't care if it was a woman, whoever's the best person at the time. That's who I want in office. But there's a lot of men who don't feel that way, man. There's a lot of a lot of people who, black men too, and her being a black woman on top of it, a lot of black men are like, you know what I mean? Like turning away from it as well too. So
yeah,
this isn't
like,
a short, this isn't a short shot, man.
You can vote for the Democrats and live to fight another day, or you can vote for whatever Trump's doing and let him be a king. And I'd rather fight for another day.
You don't see though, really, how people are, a lot of black people are gonna vote for, not a lot, but a good number of black people are gonna vote for Trump. You know what I mean? Black men.
Why? Because they was pandemic rich.
I think that's a lot of them have that. Oh, were you better off 3.5 years ago? And
we were better off because Obama left him a booming country. You need to look at the last. You need to look at the last year and first of all, you look at the last year of that president's presidency and look at the year after and all his effects and every policy he made. That's his staple right there. That's everything he did. Were you good? Were you good? And you ask people, were you good in his last year and the year after? And people are gonna be like, nah, I was not. I was out of work. I didn't know what was going on. My kid couldn't graduate. Exactly. So you're going to get more of that.
And then they also always come with the whole inflation thing. We need to have this conversation on Sunday, especially. They come with the inflation thing. You be like, look, people know it takes a long time to explain, get into it now, but definitely, I don't know if she's going to win this election, man, for sure. I don't think it's a sure shot.
Well, I mean, the only people that are going to lose this election is the American people. We're too split up. It's divided. too much going on. But I mean, we're going to keep you guys updated. This is Uncommon Courtesy. Don't forget to catch us 1 p.m. Sunday Pacific time. Live discussion. Last one was fantastic. We loved all the interactions, everybody that joined us. I know it's during a football game, but if your team's losing, switch on over because we there for you.
Switch on over, man. Or doing multi-screen it. You know what I mean? They can dual screen it. You guys got technology.
Yeah.
Uncommon Courtesy.
Uncommon Courtesy.